looks like we're up, I think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody home? Well, I am anyway. Nobody there, can't be helped. All right, what are we up to here? Let's see, what's the first step here? Okay, let's get this ready. Just need some paper for testing. Okay. Oh, we got people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Transferring the image for color blocks. Yes, everybody in the world knows what I'm doing, except me. Yeah, this is the best part, the worst part. The clearly, cleanly, beautifully carved wood, and we're now gonna smack it black. Actually, I was gonna scan it first, but I forgot. But I got no time to do that now, so can't be helped. I think it's okay. Okay, first wash it. Just getting off the lines of the key of the transfer paper. It's just water and a brush. Nothing special going on here. Another order. It's been a rather busy morning. Thank you if it's somebody here. Thank you. I think too yesterday there was an order in the stream that was from somebody in the stream. Thank you very much, sir. You know who you are. Okay, there we are. Okay, last chance to see it before it gets blackened. There's the scale, that's my finger, you can see the scale of this thing. It's a fun little image. There's a part that actually you can't see here. The girl is, of course, eating noodles in a bowl. The dog is waiting, but it's a bit more active than that. What she's doing, you'll see when the color blocks are ready. She's actually pulling up one noodle and it's dropping into the dog's mouth. So she's actually feeding her little friend there. Okay, let's do a couple of test prints. Blocks full of black ink. Are we ready? Last chance. I should maybe scroll in a bit. Wearing thicker shirts. It's getting colder in Tokyo. It really is. It's the normal way to do things here. Come on, it's the end of October here now, We've done very well. We've done very well. It's been, well, very well, I'm not sure what to say. It's been mild, but because it's been mild, it's been wet. We've had rain, rain, rain. A lot of people who have been disappointed, tourists who have been here in October expecting, blue skies, maple leaves, and it has been wet. I didn't put any black ink on this, but there's enough black ink. This is the brush from the party room. It'll give me enough grey color here to transfer. Okay, first up, let's test. Here we are, Jitsan. Here's your first image. Oh, look at this. Already we can see something I've forgotten. Look at that. See the black dot? Something I forgot to pull out. Very easy to rectify, of course. The rest of it, he looks not so bad, you know. This is first pass. I'll have to go through this again. Shave something. You can see there's a bit of inconsistency at the back of her hair. They're going to shave that a bit later. I forget some of the places when we were talking about it. There was something under her arm. It was too thick, I said. I need to shave it. I can't remember. All in all, it's okay. Not a bad first pass. Yeah, there's some real inconsistencies here. Her arm shakes, under her elbow shakes. Bits and pieces here. Table could be smoother. Whatever, that comes later. Right now, let's get busy on the transfers. Okay, transfer, I don't know again how much to explain to everybody. Jed gave me an image for this thing which had color washes. This is not going to be fill in the colors perfectly standard ukiyo-e style. What he's done, I can show you the sheets. There's a dark, this will be the hair, but again it doesn't fill exactly the lines. You'll see a bit later when I get what's going on. This is the sheet that will be, you can see there's going to be a tone for the blankets and part of the dog and part of the girl's clothing. At the moment, these just look a little bit like mysterious, but you'll see when they all add up together later on. I just got back from the copy machine. I went to the convenience store to copy these. You can see what this is. Obviously, it's part of the girl's clothing, and again, it's part of the overlay of the dog. The dog's going to be a two-tone dog, as these things are. And then we have another one, and this is going to be the background steam coming up, part of the underlay of her hair, and part of the underlay of her clothes and jeans. And you can see the noodle now, which is falling from her chopsticks down to the dog's mouth. My email is on a 5-minute check, and every 5 minutes, it seems, people are in the shopping cart. We opened up the gift print page last night and sent out the mailers. And a lot of people, I guess, are doing some of their Christmas shopping quite early. Now, the thing about these is, though, I've got to know where these zones are. Remember, when I was doing the key block, I told you I'm not going to have the outlines on the key block. In fact, I even chopped them away. There will be no black outline around this print. The key block is already registered. It's got its corner marks. I'm going to explain myself into a corner here. Just let me do this. Just let me do this without explaining too much. What I'm going to do now, on a piece of stiff paper with no gampi, 4 pieces of stiff paper, no gampi, I'm going to take a clean impression of the key block with the paper very carefully registered. Just let's do that without explaining too much. This is way bigger than the print will be. It doesn't matter. I just need the corner of it. Where can we put these so you can see it? Right, here we go. Okay, these are the 4 sheets that will be the transfer sheets. They're fairly strong, thick paper. They won't distort in any way. This gives me the location of the key lines. Although, as I said, for this print, Jed hasn't asked me to color in between the key lines. Okay, this goes away now. We're done with this. What did I get on there? A mess. Okay, we've got 4 of these. Now on top of these, I'm going to put this stuff. Now we can sort of see how this is going to work. I printed this out at the correct, I should zoom out a bit more now. We've got the 4 transfer sheets now. And we have the 4 Gampi sheets printed from Jed's Photoshop Master at the correct size. These now go 1 by 1 by 1 on here. Let's just grab one and start. 5-minute mail check. Thank you very much. So you can see what we've got here. There's the Gampi now, and what I needed to print the key block on this rough paper to find out where things go. And you can see what I said now, this is not going to be color in. Jed has left, for example, rim light. These are going to be shadings, washes, rather than fill in the colors a la classical ukiyo-e. Let's just do these one at a time. There's two. There's the second one. It's for the kotatsu cover and part of the dog. It's kind of a puzzle. At this point, if this is all we had, we wouldn't even really know what the color scheme is going to look like, but Jed's worked it out very carefully. And again, for the people curious about, what did they do in the old days when they didn't have Photoshop? Jed would be sitting here. The artist would be sitting here, coloring these things in directly on this sheet. But because he's there and I'm here, we have to transfer it by the internet, by Photoshop. So I have to print these things out, carefully line them up. But normally, the artist would be sitting here. That's how this works. I've got a bit of horizontal. I think that's got to come up a hair. Yeah, that's better. Okay, one more. Okay, let's have a look at what's going on over here. The first batch of gift prints is off the line, yes, so don't worry about it. The first batch is off the line, and Aimi-san is well on the way with the next 100 upstairs. Won't be finished this afternoon, she'll be finished tomorrow morning. Okay, let's have a look at where we are here now. Clean up some of the stuff off the bench here, excuse me. So here's the 4 color blocks for our print. One is going to give us steam in the background and a base tone for her clothes and a base for her hair. Another one gives a second tone for her clothes and one of the half tones for the dog. One of the 2 tones for the dog. This gives us the blanket and another tone on the dog, and then an overlay for her hair. And if you can imagine what the finished print will look like color-wise just based on these, then you're a better man than I, because there's no way that I could either. I've seen the Photoshop Master, so I know what they are. We've got a yellowish, what they call yamabuki in Japanese. It's yellow with a tint of red in it. That'll be the kotatsu cover on part of the dog. There's a slightly orangey pink tone that goes over the rest of the dog to give it that Shiba Inu orange and part of this. Then the one that will be the steam and her hair underlay and part of her clothes, it's a color we would call momo. It's kind of a peach tone. Not really peach, but whatever, that's close I can think of. Then there's a darker hair. Okay, we've got 4 color separation sheets. Now we need 4 wood blocks. And I'm going to do that with 1 piece of wood. Namely, this one. We have some wood left over from the Yokai series this year, and it's large enough. Let's get one of these full sheets here. It's large enough to do 1 in each corner. I think we went 10 minutes there without an order. It's Christmas time. So we're going to be able to put 4 of these. 1, 2, and of course on the other side, 3, 4. And my job now is just a question of matching up which is which. As I said before, always when doing this, we start with the most difficult wood and the best wood, and we start with the widest area and the smallest area. So the most difficult wood, the one that has the most defects, we have to get rid of that first or decide which one we're going to do. And it's probably a no-brainer. The most difficult wood, the one with so many defects, is probably going to go for this print because, bang, it just sits in the middle and we don't use the rest of it. So my first guess, let's call this 4 and 4 because that works. Put that aside. Then the cleanest face. The cleanest face is this one. This is the widest area. Let's see how it goes. There's a kind of a defect there. It doesn't fall in anything. I think we're good to go. Let's call this 3 and 3. So 4 and 3 are done. The other 2 have to go on the other side, and they're both pretty easy, you know, because we've just got such a small area. Let's see. That one would go there with absolutely no problem. So let's call it 1, 1. And this one has to be 2 and 2. Let's see if it's going to match. Yeah, I think we're okay. Aoyama-san saved me a nice piece of wood for this. That's 2 and 2. Okay, let's do this thing. Next step. I need my Kento Nomi. 1 cutter. Somewhere in here I have a plastic. Here we go. Go. Oh, we zoomed it. Okay. I don't remember where the other registration mark is, so let's take it from the master one here. Excuse me, the usual headphone warning. I'm going to make a loud tap here with my hammers. So if you've got headphones on, please be careful. It's going to be a sharp tap. 3, 2, 1. So much for ASMR. Sorry about that. This is work. I've got to do what I've got to do. I guess it's like Haydn's Surprise Symphony, right? The people are all sitting there dozing off, and all of a sudden, whap! One of the merits of doing it on a single piece of wood like this is that it's easy for us to keep the block set organized. You know, once the printing is finished, we put them on the shelf. There's the block. The downside of doing it this way is that the printers upstairs can't team up to do this job. Only one person can work on it at a time. And we're thinking we may end up cutting this in half so that 2 people can work on it at the same time. But for now, I'm just going to sit here and do it this way. But probably, I almost certainly will end up cutting this in half. Ishikawa-san's going to work on it, Suga-san, Aimi-san's going to make some, I'll probably be in part of the team, I don't know. We're all going to be ganging up on it. If it was necessary, could you move the registration marks around to avoid... Someone's asking about the registration mark. Yes, they don't have to be in the corner. And we've done this. We were doing this just a couple of weeks ago when we were making that print of the Trial of Strength, Jed calls it. Absolutely, I'll move the registration marks wherever I have to be able to locate it in a nice piece of wood. It's standard procedure for us, absolutely. If somebody's waiting for those perfect Gampi peels, and it's not going to happen because we just got Gampi in one corner of this. It's just, we're not going to get that full peel game that we played before, to relax. You can see carving the color blocks for this is not going to be a very difficult job. They're cloudy shapes, you know, vague shapes. That's number 2. What's this say? It says number 1. That's this one. Do it all over again. There's a dot. Are we close? Again, to reiterate that point we just made with a question, you know, this one here, there's a real bad spot on this one. It's a knot, a black knot. It's actually a hole there. And if, as it happens, we're okay. It's not in the area we need. But if it was in this area here, I could put these registration marks here so that the print was going to sit on the block in a place that avoided. And as long as we're not bumping into something else, we're totally flexible at this point to move these around. Again, tap warning coming up. Make the sharp tap, sharp bang. If you've got headphones on, please be careful. 3, 2, 1. These orders you've been hearing coming in the background, and many of them, of course, are for the new gift print that we put up last night. But that runs, I'm not sure, I haven't looked at them all yet, but the ones I saw last night, about half of them are for the new gift print. But many people choose one of the other prints on that page as well. So we've been stocking up on those. We've been printing. I know Tsushima-san over in our Ome workshop, who you guys never see, she spends most of her time printing these gift prints, day after day after day, stocking up on them. So, and the work she's been doing for the past few months, getting inventory ready, is all now coming through. You hear this music every 5 minutes. There we go. Double check. This was number one, in there, down. No bad spots. Glue here, okay? Moistening the wood first so the glue doesn't sink in too quickly to the wood. A bit too much there. A bit too much. Just right. Just cloud shapes. Now, I know in a traditional workshop, the carvers are just carving, of course, and they don't really see much of what else goes on. They're usually isolated from the printers or from their publisher's outfit because they're so noisy. Many carvers work at home, or in the old days, if there's a workshop where they're all together, the printers might be on the second floor, the carvers might be in an alcove or the third floor or something, because they're just too noisy, drive everybody crazy with all the banging. So the carvers aren't really in touch with what's going on. And, a carver in the old days, he'd just get this block sent over to him. He hasn't seen the original. He hasn't seen anything else. Maybe he didn't even see the key block. That might have been carved by somebody else. So the guy's just sitting there. He's got shapes like this. That's his daily work, just cutting shapes like this. It's like, what am I doing? What is this all? Who knows? It's like a puzzle. But not like he would care. It doesn't matter. That was just his job. Number three, double check again. This is a big one. Not sure. I'm not looking at anything about it now, but it's clear. We're okay. Again, tap coming up. If you've just joined, if you've got headphones, please be careful. I'm going to make a tapping noise here, a whapping, a bang noise. 3, 2, 1. One more to come in a few minutes. Looks good. Up to here, so keep track of where I am. How are we doing for time? No problem, right? No sweat. The shop, out there, it's been going just crazy every day. The staff is doing okay. Kawai-san especially, he's doing really well. But day by day, you can see their faces. They're getting punch drunk on this. Doing a print party is fun. Doing 2 of them is fun. Doing 3 of them, 4 of them in a day, it's still fun. We're doing a good job with it. It's still fun, but my God, it's exhausting. The way we do the parties, it's we've talked about this. It's kind of like a performance almost. We're active every minute of a party. And 4 a day, and we've actually got 5 scheduled, but we haven't. I've just closed it. I can't open it. We're turning away reservations because we just can't. We just kill ourselves. So we're trying to train more people. Those of you who've been to a recent party might have seen each time we do it, myself is there, Kawai-san's there, and then one other, a trainee is standing there. So we're trying to get more people on board how to do this, but it's not easy to find people that can, of course, 1, speak English comfortably, 2, know enough about the printmaking or learn enough about the printing to be able to run it, and have enough of a personality to be able to talk to people and control people. And then the biggest one is I can't get these Japanese people, most of them, it's really difficult getting them to enjoy themselves while they're doing it. Kawai-san now is doing that really well. He's having a ton of fun doing it. It's contagious to the people who are visitors, and it's great. But they're all the Japanese staff at the beginning, they don't allow themselves to have fun with it because they think their job is to be the teacher, and they're the customer and you're the one providing the service, and you're not supposed to have fun. It's not part of the mindset. And I'm trying to do it totally the other way around. If we have fun, if we enjoy ourselves, then everybody else is going to have fun as well. So for us, there's this thing in Japan that says Kyaku Daiichi, customer number 1. And every one of the employees here, when I tell them that's not how we do it. What we do it here is we are number 1. Don't get upset at me, but that's the way it works. We are number 1. If we're having fun, if we're enjoying ourselves, automatically everybody else is going to pick that up and enjoy it. So they're shocked when I tell them this. It's not customer first, it's us first. We want to make a nice living for ourselves, doing something productive and doing something we enjoy doing. We don't think customers first, Maybe it sounds funny when I express it in words like that, but that's actually how I run my life and how everything out here is running. Careful, Dave. It's wet, wet, wet. I think we'll leave that. There it goes. Came off good. Okay, good. One more. This one's easy. Right in the middle there. Kind of fun trying to get a picture from the shapes. Yes, of course. So. Customers come along for the fun. Kyakudaichi. No. I don't know, whatever. You say something, you maybe get taken out of context. Dave doesn't care about the customers, whatever. It's not how we're thinking, but whatever. I think everybody gets what I was trying to say. So. Okay, for the last time this morning, stand by for a bang. I'm going to get my mallet out. For those of you who just joined, if you have headphones, be careful, please. I'm going to make a noise. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a noise. All right, that's it for today on those things. Maybe I never mentioned what I'm doing there. I know, why do I do some of these lines just with a knife, the chisel by itself, and why do I whap some of them? It's the cross grain, of course. I know the knife slides very easily into the wood when it's with the grain, but when the chisel is across the grain, it doesn't slide in at all. And if just by hand pressure, it's really easy for me by wiggling, pushing to get it out of 90 degrees. But by positioning it first at exactly 90 degrees with the help of that little plastic shim, and then tapping it in, we get our perfect corner every time. I think I heard a question there. Just a moment. Let me finish this little bit here before I do that. Says he, promptly forgetting. Okay, before I do forget, let's have a look at that question. Someone just tuned in and doesn't know what we're doing. I know. Okay, well, let's try and explain, I guess. It's the color separation work for one of our upcoming prints. Good, you asked just at the right time. It's the color separation for one of the prints. We've done the key block already. The key block is carved, and it's going to need 4 color blocks. Because this is not perfectly traditional ukiyo-e, this is not things that are colored in within the outlines. The key block doesn't have any outlines for this steam. So I have to know where the steam is. So what I've done is we have a master copy from Jed, the designer of this, in Photoshop, which had everything on different layers. So I printed out from Jed's, the different layer separations from Jed's Photoshop. This is normal printout from the Photoshop layers. I took it to my local copy shop. I don't have a printer in-house here. We haven't set up our office yet. I printed that at the correct size, at the correct reduction, onto our sandwich. And this is just normal, it's fairly stiff. It's not copy paper, it's stiff. I don't know what you call it. It's paper, but it's fairly stiff paper. It doesn't distort when you go through the laser. On top of it, we have what we call gampi paper. People are calling it gampi. It's gampi, a thin, a very thin and strong Japanese washi. We can't put this through the copy machine by itself because it just crumples up. But I need the image, I need this image on thin paper to be able to carve. So we make a sandwich. I use spray glue. Psst. Put gampi paper on top of this thing, and this now went through the copy machine to take the image from this. It's not the same one, but it's one of the 4 sheets. So now we have the Photoshop layer from Jed positioned in the right place on the image And that's now going to get pasted down on a piece of wood ready for carving. I think that's it. I know it's something that may be difficult to understand just when you see it once. We do this all the time for every print we're doing. So just come back and see it again and see it again. And at one point it just sort of clicks. There's how it works. This is a terrible piece. It's cracked and cracked all the way through. It doesn't matter. It won't distort because it's still plywood. But here we are. There's the carrier sheet just coming off. We don't need this anymore. It just did its job to carry the paper. And there's a full Gampi sheet laid down on the wood. We're looking at it, of course, from the back. We can pull away more to make it clearer for carving. There we go. Color transfers done, ready to carve. Get rid of the tools we don't need. Get rid of the non-slip and bring in the slip. Look at this ancient piece of cloth. Dave, let it go. Get a new one. And time to get carving. Let's start with the dry ones, of course. Excuse me. Let's use, don't need the microscope for this. Under here, and let's get zoomed in. Oops, sorry. This zoom on the camera, you know, it's either bang or nothing. There's no way around it. Spit, spit, spit. Well, let me check the chat here, see what's going on. Cloth. I'm going to leave that one alone. You guys take care of it if you like. I'm going to leave that one alone. There's stuff that you could tell a story and then it's enough, it's enough, it's enough. All right, here we go. I'll need room for the block to slide out. Much softer wood than the one I've been carving all week, of course. We chose a hard piece for the key block, and this is much softer. If the wood's too hard for color blocks, the water doesn't sink into it very well. We get far too much wood grain. I glue on my fingers, sorry, all that mess. It's the glue from pasting it down, so I don't have some strange disease, don't worry about it. Maybe I do, but that's not what that is anyway. I'm wondering, I don't know. That light is too bright, eh? The camera is overexposing all the time. New camera coming up next week, as we said before. In order to make the David's Choice videos better, with more shots of the prints and less shots of my face, we found a camera that's got much better zoom and pan capabilities. I mean, this camera we've got here does zoom. You just saw right now, you try to zoom and it just jerks and pops and drags all around. So we've got another camera that zooms better. We'll be trying that out sometime. It won't be this weekend now because of all the new orders. That's going to chew up a ton of time. But the next David's Choice video should be a much better production. Oops, got my microphone wire. Sorry. can we see? I don't know what I should do here about this light. If I zoom in more, is it going to help? Just a second, let me try and move things around here. Yeah, it's better, right? Take away more of the dark area so the camera's less confused. Okay, sorry about that. I should have done that earlier. Looks better, I think, right? The problem now is staying in the focus, so. Oops. Sorry about that. Microphone down. This block is long and thin. It's banging into my belly here, so it's interfering with the microphone cord. I guess that's a dog leg, is it? Yeah, I guess so. I should have kept the original here so I could refer to it. Okay, there's one. 1 out of 4. Move on to another one. Actually, before I do though, excuse me a minute, I've got to I was in a bit of a rush this morning, get all this stuff ready. I've got to take a bit of a break for 2 or 3 minutes, back in a second. I know. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Excuse me. Back in a couple of minutes. So, wait for the flush. bum, 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 bum. Ooh, chup, 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 chup. Thank you for your patience. Everybody's been behaving themselves. Thanks, guys. Hey, here we go. Next one. You get some bizarre stuff on these color separations sometimes. I don't know if you can see this one. And we've got a negative of the dog here. You can see the dog's tail and the dog's bum. It's not going to be on this color block. But there's the ears. So the dog's head and part of its body will be on this color block, which is clearly the block for the blanket for the kotatsu she's sitting at. So Jed's got an interesting overlay of all these colors. They're all transparent. We've talked about it before. And it doesn't actually matter. We've got 4 color blocks here. We could print number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Or we could print 4, 3, 2, 1. It wouldn't make any difference at all in the finished print. We sometimes do this with our print party people. We've got a specific set of blocks on the bench, 1, 2, 3. And people ask me, is it important to put one color on top of the other colors? And with our work, for the most part, the answer is no, it doesn't matter. 1 on top of 2 or 2 on top of 1, and they add up to make the same thing. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is 3, as it were. good stable piece of wood, you know, not too soft, not too hard. It's going to print well. We're going to need quite a few hundred copies of this. It should still hold itself pretty good, I think. We have an interesting print party coming up at 10 o'clock, and I'll be doing it myself this morning. Yeah, we just finished the Kickstarter campaign, our third one actually, you know. So, and the person booked for a print party this morning is a visitor from Brooklyn, from New York, from Kickstarter headquarters. I forget his title. I think it's something like President for Overseas Operations or something, whatever, or something for Japan. I've met him a few times, a number of times. In the run-up to that previous campaign, we talked about a bunch of different things, and I met him a few times. I kept telling him, get over here, you know. We've used Kickstarter 3 times. You guys have been a big help to us over the years. Get over here. So he's in Japan this week, and finally got him to sign up for a print party. So I probably won't see it. He'll come up the stairs. I'll be in the building somewhere here. But when he comes up the stairs, I want to see his face, because on the stairs we have a excuse me, I don't know what to call it, a social media thank you poster or something. I don't know. We've got a poster that's got our current YouTube view count, our Patreon count, and our Kickstarter backer count, and things like this. You know, thank you to all our supporters overseas for what you do to help us and support us. You know. So I hope he notices it when he comes up the stairs. You know, thank you also to Kickstarter. So. Actually, it's going to be a kind of a wild party, because that was another. I got to be careful what I say about people who are actually customers. There was a couple that came in yesterday, and it turns out they're from Italy. I thought they were Spanish at first, but they were Italian. And he's a guy who is making woodblock prints in a Western style. He's cutting on wood and printing with oil-based inks in a press, stuff like this. And he's making graphic novels, page by page. And what he does, he makes a woodblock print for each image in the novel. He doesn't make 100 copies of each. He'll probably just make 1 or 2 or 3 copies of each, get a good one, send it to the publisher who photographs it and uses it to make the page of the novel. And this is the second novel he's done. He's partway through his second one. And he was here yesterday showing us. He's a bit of a wild man. He talks wildly and gesticulates, and he can't wait to try the Japanese technique. Just for fun, really. It's not going to affect his work, because He's doing a kind of a dense, oily black that we don't get in our work. But he was a bit of a crazy man yesterday, and he's come back for this party tomorrow. So it's the Kickstarter honcho and this man from Italy with his partner, and so it's going to be a bit of a wild one. I think we'll see. Yesterday we had two. The afternoon was basically, what do you call it? Chartered, whatever. It was booked out by a school from Shanghai, an international school in Shanghai. They brought a bunch of their students over, dozens of their students over, and we just did them in groups, 6 at a time, bang, bang. And this was, excuse me, sorry. And the students groups like that sometimes, they were fun, but they were frustrating at the beginning because the students, they think they're coming for a teaching event, a class event, so they stand around quietly and waiting for something to happen. And as I was talking about it before, me and our staff, we're determined that these things are not a teaching event. They're supposed to be a fun activity. So, but sometimes it's a bit difficult to charge them up and get them running. They think it's because it's a classroom. They're not allowed to speak out, or not allowed to say something, or not allowed to take the pictures, or whatever. Excuse me. It sometimes takes quite a while to get it off the ground. I've got exactly the same thing in my throat now that Jed had when he came last week. I gave him my present brushes, and he gave me his presents. So I'll need a mask when I'm doing that party this morning. Somebody's saying, is the blade extra shiny today? I don't know. It's the normal thing. I sharpened it this morning before I started. I think it's just catching the light in a certain way. I don't know. We're coming down to the end of it, though. We've talked about this before. There's not much of it left, and maybe I can only get it sharpened a few more times. Not sure. We're coming to the end of it. Is it that time, is it? Oh, Doi-san, welcome back. I didn't know you were coming in today. So how was New York?
I met one lady from the Daie Hakubutsukan. She contacted
We've been
you.
writing about the Great Wave. That's top secret. Don't. Good. Did you tell her why I can't write back to her so often?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
And then I met so many young scientists.
And this is our member Doi-san here. I don't know if you can see him. He'll come and say hello in a minute. He's been off in New York for a few days, a week or so. But I don't think this is a secret. There's been some kind of conference over there about ukiyo-e research and stuff like that. Oh, look at this. Soka.
Ukiyo-e,
This is public information, right?
Okay. All public information.
Looking closely at colors in 19th century. So these are people doing research on the old stuff. This is part I don't actually get into this myself. They're trying to figure out what the actual old pigments were made of and how they were used and how long they lasted and stuff like that. And that's of academic interest, but it's of no interest to me because we can't use such pigments in our own work. If I send you a print made with an authentic 18th century pigment, it'll last about 2 weeks and then the pigment will fade and it'll be nothing. So I can understand why they're studying this. It's cool, it's interesting, but it's of no interest. It's of no practical application to us because we can't use these pigments.
Including the token donation issues.
Oh, they got the things today.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
So nice, good information.
They must be going nuts about that. All those little bottles with those pigments from Meiji time.
Yeah, right.
Wow, what a gold mine! Is this online at all, this stuff? Do you know?
Maybe she will in how do I say reorganize again. Then anyway, at this moment is
there's nothing there, but okay, okay.
A new one, but
right.
Anyway, I took some
okay.
Photos. Yeah.
Well, gang, you know what time it is here? It's 9:25. I've got to wrap this up. I've got to get ready for my first party at 10 o'clock. So where are we standing here? It's Saturday morning. Tomorrow, Sunday morning. There'll be no stream this afternoon. It's still, I'm sorry, absolutely impossible. I'm sorry to the Europeans and people who are waiting for afternoon streams. Next month, I hope, but at the moment, impossible. So there'll be no stream this afternoon, but there will be. I'll be back tomorrow morning. In fact, I'll just leave this right here, and tomorrow morning I'll probably just pick up exactly where I left off carving right now. That'll be Sunday morning here, and beyond that, I cannot see. There's the next job for me beyond this will be starting to work on the first print of the new series, the Far PG side series, which we've decided to go ahead with. Other than that, I can't see. I'll have a look through the thread here. Thank you very much for hanging around. I'll be back here, same time, same station, tomorrow morning, if I survive the day here. I'm okay. It's just a cough, you know. With Jed, it came and it went. With me, it'll come and go. Nothing else to say. Who are we here? I forgot your name. Kawais. Jamal. Goodbye. Away we go. Right, camera off first. Microphone up. Good morning, Kawais.
Good morning.
It's going to be another busy one. So, okay. Goodbye to the stream. Thank you.